Well, hello. What a win. What a win. Hope you're all buzzing. I'm absolutely over the moon at that. I cannot believe it. That's probably one of the worst 1-0s I've ever seen in my life, but we'll take that all day. Honestly, honest to God, my nerves are absolutely shredded after that last 15, 20 minutes, honest to God. But we've done it. More importantly, we've reached that 40-point mark, which was for me the big target. We've said all season 40 points was where we needed to be. We're getting that now. I think we can breathe a sigh of relief. And what a way to do it, away at Leeds in the black kit against another shocking referee. To be fair, he was absolutely awful, Stuart Atwell. But what a performance. When you get into places like Leeds, you have to dig it out and grind it out, and you have to be horrible. And we done that. We made it an awful game to watch. We frustrated them, like I said in the match preview video, and also when I did that with Matty, I said would frustrate them, would dig in, and then second half, would come on strong. Absolutely tremendous away performance. But let us know what you think in the comments. Obviously, get involved. 24 watching. Please like, share, subscribe, hype if you don't mind as well. Sorry it's a little bit late, but I just thought I'd jump on after that win and do a bit of an impromptu one rather than do a match review. And let us know what you think. And also they said the black kit. We've done it in the black kit as well. But the lineup, what was your thoughts on the lineup? We saw Luke O'Neill come in the side, and to be fair, didn't let anybody down, did he? He was absolutely tremendous tonight. Gets man of the match. The keeper as well. The rumours before the game that Roos was out and Melke Elborg was coming in, and that proved to be the case. And he had a bit of a shaky start, didn't he? He had that kick out when he kicked it straight to their man. But from then on, he grew into the game and made some crucial saves at the end, and was calm and collected where he needed to be. So I'm pleased for him. A clean sheet on his debut. He'd be buzzing with that, and at the end of the game, you saw what it meant to him. Obviously, Xhaka wasn't playing either. Big miss. We thought when we saw that lineup, we thought, oh, there's only one team going to win, and it was going to be Leeds. But let's read some of the comments out before we go on a bit further. So, Harvey Football says, "Can we play you? Can we play you? Can we play every week?" Well, we wouldn't mind. Jeff 2671 says, "Great win. Unbelievable, Jeff. That's the saying. Unbelievable, Jeff." Sound like Cammy. Brett 8933. That was a hard watch win. That's probably the most stressed I've been watching Sunderland this season. I've just been saying there, Brett. My nerves are shredded after that. The last 15-20 minutes, and can we just take a moment for Stuart Atwell? What an absolute dick. Where did he get them 30 minutes from? Where were them 30 minutes of injury time from? Absolutely crazy. Steve O, SAFC says 40 points now reached. The next question is, what's next? As Regis had reached his target. Well, that's the thing. Xhaka, after the game, was interviewed on the pitch, and he said 40 points was always the kind of where I wanted to be. We've achieved that now. Now it's a case of, we can finish anywhere. We can look up, the pressure's off, if you like, and we can now kick on and just have a really good end of the season. So that will be the plan. But reading between the lines, I think Kevin Louis Dreyfus has said that he wants to finish as high as possible. And let's see where it takes us. I think that we're now up to, up towards 8th place. So, long may it continue and see where we end up. Harvey Football says Matty was predicting a 3-4-0. He was. I mean, to be fair to Matty, I've had a couple of voice notes off him to say we're a set of cheating bastards and we're awful to play against, and but like I've just said at the start of the video, when you get into places like Leeds, you kind of go in there and play a flowing football. You have to make it awful. You have to ground results out. You have to make it horrible. And that's what we did. Donna's Destinations, hello there. Who was your man of the match? Well, I'd probably give it to Luke, but I thought Luke was class. I thought also Alderete, even though he had a shaky first half, I thought the last half an hour he was absolutely immense. He headed everything. I thought Lafayette midfield grafted really well. I thought the whole team grafted. The ball retention in the first half was shocking. Really was shocking in the first half. We couldn't get out. We couldn't keep out of the ball, and Leeds would just, waiting to score. But defensively, we're held up. But for me, I'd probably give it to Luke O'Neill as well, just for coming in to play it right back as well. Never an easy game against Good Monson. He's a good player. He's fast, he's direct. So for me, I'd probably agree with the TNT punters and give it a Luke 09. Jeff couldn't watch the last 10 minutes. I didn't blame you. It was a nervous watch, wasn't it? Far away GT. It wasn't pretty, but we fought hard, and that is what we do with our backs to the wall. Yeah. Alexandra Xhaka annoyed with Isidore for being offside and not tracking back. Lazy player, don't deserve minutes over Regan Talby. I agree with you, Alexandra. I think even when he came on, he looked lazy. He wasn't tracking back, getting caught offside. Having said that, Angulo and Mienda were doing the same in the first half, got in some good positions, and we just didn't make the most of it. So that's the frustrating thing. But Wilson didn't look at it again when he came on. There's something not right there. Miles Percival, I'll direct him man of the match for me. Shit show again from Atwell. I said before the game in my preview that Stuart Atwell has always been a dick. He hates Sunderland, and he was like, the amount of free kicks that he gave today was unreal. John Ruddock just ringing me. Sorry, John, I'm doing a live. I'll give you a buzz in a minute. Harvey Football has officially failed safe from relegation. That's it. We can breathe that sigh of relief now. We can sorry about that. We can breathe that sigh of relief, and we can kick on and see where we end up. Walton Viduka, one shot on target. The penalty, you're shit. Well, we might be shit, but we've took the 3 points tonight, mate. So, plenty of times when we've been the better side and lost the game, you might be a bit upset about VAR tonight. I agree, you should have had a penalty in the first half. Luke 09's it's a penalty. I think it's on stroke. Totally agree. Oh, sorry, the webcam's gone off. Sorry about that. Somebody was ringing and John Ruddock was ringing and the webcam went off. So I don't know what you saw there, what you missed. But I was saying about Walton Viduka's comment there, one shot on target, the penalty, you're shit. We might be shit, but we've won the game 1-0. And like I say, you might be upset about VAR. The referee was shit for both sides, but for me, it's a penalty to us. It's a Stonewall penalty. Ampadu makes that movement towards the ball. You kind of do that. As soon as you make that movement, the hand movement, it's a penalty all day. And yes, you should have had a penalty in the first half. Luke 09, it's a blatant penalty. He's hanging around Pascal Stroke. So referee got that wrong. VAR didn't check. But like I said earlier, we got shafted by VAR 3 times against Bournemouth. So that's just how it is, It's unfortunate. Things, what goes around comes around. You usually feel a bit hard done by, which I get your point of view, but I'd rather be shit than winning 1-0 than not take any points. So it is what it is. Brett was over the moon for 09 to get his first Premier League start. Wonder if he should be left back next game, as he can use his left foot, move him to the right. Well, I've just been saying, he's played 3 games this season and he's been man of the match in all of them. I know they were both FA Cup games, but Everton, Oxford, and now tonight, 3 games he's played, 3 man of the matches. So it's not half bad, is it? And he's letting anybody down. He's a Sunderland legend. He's 100% there, and he comes in, does a job. And I thought he was really, really good night as well. So Harvey Football, Walton Viduka, Leeds at home under lights is terrifying. Walton Viduka, fair play to Sunderland, your shit though, worst team I've seen at Elland Road this season. Well, like I've just said there, it's one of them where it's a smash and grab. We've come there frustrated, you've nicked a goal, and we've won the game 1-0. In other times, you might have scored 2 or 3, but you didn't. To be fair, you didn't. Even though you had most of the possession, you didn't really create that many chances against us. So, we might be shit, but like I say, we've took the 3 points, which in football sometimes doesn't matter how you get the result. It's the fact that you get it. So, Jeff says this is the first season I can remember where we haven't been involved in a relegation or promotion. Blood pressure killer. Aye, you're right there. The pressure's off, so we can just relax and enjoy the rest of the season, can't we? And see where we end up. Nick Robinson, Wilson's not up for it. He knows he's going. Aye, I've just been saying that. I think you're right. It's something definitely not right there. He had a good, 35 minutes, 40 minutes to prove himself tonight, and didn't really do anything. There was a chance where it came down the line, later on to hold the ball up, and he just headed it anywhere and given the ball back. So Jeff says waltzing. Malcolm Donson says, Leeds fans are so bitter. Keep the faith until I die till the end. Cheers, Malcolm. Norman Eade, superb 3 points win, full of fight and passion. We played Leeds at their own game of time wasting and shithousery. 40 points now. Enjoy the rest of the season and see where we end up. That's one thing what we haven't done this season enough of. Other teams date of us, the shithousery and the time wasting and just be horrible to play against. And we've done that tonight. So, Steve O says, apparently we are cheats. I've seen a few bits and pieces flying around about us being cheats, but I didn't know define what a cheat is. I'd be interested to find out exactly what the cheating was. I thought, considering we played against the referee that I thought was quite biased towards Leeds as well. So, dirty Leeds, what a check. Holly Walton Viduka says we're the worst team. He thinks the teams Leeds beat were bad, or B. What the fuck has TNT Company got against Sunderland? Seriously, Lucy Ward didn't even try to hide her bias. Well, that's down to them, innit? I suppose some of these commentators are beyond belief. You just got to tackle with a pinch of salt. We've won the game. We've got the 3 points, and we're the ones, safe, and we can now chill out. Holly says, better. We had a better night. He had a better night. Yorkshire Macklin, before today, we hadn't won Elland Road since 2006. I think that was a 3-0 win, wanted in 2006. When Roy King took his side there. So we've broke all sorts of barriers tonight. Release Labrise had never beaten Daniel Farker, would never won in the black kit, and VAR's actually working in our favour tonight. So shafted 3 times on Bournemouth against Bournemouth on Saturday. Then tonight we've kind of turned that round. But that's football. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you just have to, tackle on the chin sometimes, and I know it's not nice when you're on the receiving end of it, but nice that there's some kind of retribution come our way tonight. I want 09's mural next to Watson and Ballard. Class Miles. Terry Ward, seeing we are shit, smacks of sour grapes. Well, that's it. When you've lost the game in I don't know what to say, controversial circumstances, because it was a Stonewall penalty, but when you lose the game, when you've had like 70-80% possession, then you're always going to be upset and look at things that didn't go your way and then blame that, you know what I mean? But I think we'd be the same. If we lost that game, we'd probably be the same way. So Port Vale have scored. It's got an extra time. I've just seen that, so that's a cracking result for us. If Port Vale get through, second off bottom in League 1 or League 2, aren't they? So we got there now at the weekend, potentially. So that's another cracking tie, a chance to get into the quarterfinals. So if it stays 1-0, an even better night. Harvey Football says, I thought Angulo was a standout for a lot and showed a lot of passion. Keep him on the right now. For me, I thought he had a decent game, apart from getting caught offside quite a bit. But overall, I thought he did all right. He did well on that right-hand side. He's got bags of pace and worried them a little bit. So I'd agree with you. I'd probably keep him in. It all depends what kind of side we put out against Port Vale, and I will go strong-ish. But after the hard game tonight, how many of them first-team players will he rest for the weekend? Artby Joy beating Leeds 1-0, my favourite score since 1973. Love it. Harvey Football says, Port Vale, it is for the next round of the FA Cup. Also, they've beat Bristol City. Well, I'm buzzing with that. That's another cracking end of the night. So, what a way to round off a Tuesday night. A 1-0 win at Leeds, and then Port Vale in the FA Cup 5th round. Where did the ref get 12 minutes from? I've just been saying that, mate. Unbelievable. I think he was trying to give them as much chances as he could to give them a goal. It's just some of these referees, the bigger belief, and I know it was a really stop-start game. The VAR didn't last that long. The VAR was only 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm not too sure, to be fair. I'm not too sure whether he thought it was just time wasting and decided to rub it in. But we've come out on top. Walton Viduka, Angulo, standout performance. It's all about opinions, mate. All about opinions. Steve-O, first clean sheet for the new lad in goal, and I'll bet he's buzzing with that. If you saw him at the end of the game, he was absolutely beaming. You could see the young lad out of the moon for him. Like I say, he had a bit of a nervous start, didn't he, when he kicked the ball out? But after that, he grew into the game. He got some pelters for going down. another bit of shithousery when he went down in the box so we could get some kind of tactics from Regis Labrise. But like I say, other teams do it. Why can't we do it? You know, we've been too nice all season. It's about time we started being a bit of a shithouse and roughing teams up and you know, be awful to play against. And it was good to see. Nut, hello mate, how are you doing from Thailand? I almost nodded off several times during this match. The attacking play from both teams just wasn't exciting enough for the fans to get behind. I agree. Like I just said there earlier, our especially first half, our ball retention was absolutely shocking. We couldn't keep out of the ball. We kept giving it away. The pitch and all, I don't know what footwear that on because they kept on falling out, kept on sliding all over the place at vital moments. But like I say, first half we were terrible. Second half we were better. And obviously when Xhaka comes on, he just changes things straight away. He brings that calm head. He brings the organisation. And we see the game out. But I agree. It wasn't the best. It was probably the worst one that I've ever seen, to be fair. But when you're on the winning side of it, you take it all day. If you lose it, then obviously you'll feel aggrieved like the Leeds fans do. But and Rooster Coburn says, great result. Thought we would get better when I saw the team. I thought the same. I thought, you know, no goal, the knee roofs, Luke 09 on the side and knee Xhaka. I thought it'll be a really, really long night. I mean, to be fair, for long periods of the first half, it looked like it was going to be a tough night. But we've stood up defensively, and we've been immense at the back tonight. Immense. 153 watching. Cracking. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined. Don't forget to give it a like and a subscribe if you are new and you've just stumbled across the channel and the live and you're not subscribed. Press the little black button, and we'll see if we can get to 6,000 subs before the end of the year. Be amazing milestone. So, if you're new and you're enjoying the stream, just hit that little black button, and it'll cost you now. It's totally free. Miles Percival, agree, Wayne. We should do more shithousery. It's totally agree. It's one thing we haven't done and we've never done for ages. You know, we've just rolled over and let teams do it to us. Yorkshire Martin, do you think Roots will be back for Newcastle? So I've heard he could be out for 3 weeks, so probably touch and go for the Newcastle game, which would probably mean, I don't know whether Moore might play the Port Vale game at the weekend, or he might keep Elborg in to get some more experience. We'll see. Rob Porter, I hope you give Matty pilters about the coach saying it's our towel. Well, I saw Longstaff, the black and white bastard, trying to be clever on about shithousery, trying to take the ball off Luke 09. So there's shithousery at its best. He knows the towels have been agreed by both sides, so just being a dick. SAFC Jules, can't believe Wolves just did it again. I've just seen that flash up. They've beaten Liverpool, haven't they? I think it's a bit too late for the Great Escape, but unreal, isn't it? Unreal what they're doing. Jeffrey Hodge says Alderete and Ballard and monsters. Where did another 30 minutes injury time? 3 season. Where did another 30 minutes injury? 3 season tickets. But we live in Leeds. Keep our heads down tomorrow. It's just enjoy it, mate. Just enjoy it. 3 season tickets, but we live in Leeds. I love that. Brilliant. Steve at SAFC. What no way. Yorkshire Matters revenge on Leeds from the last away game from last season. They nicked it late, didn't they? We down there last season when Wilson scored, and we chucked it away the last 10 minutes. But just shows you how far we've come when defensively we stood up tonight. Mike Adams says huffed and puffed, but got the job done. Great effort, lads. I totally agree, matey. The Pallid Night dark arts game, but we'll take the 3 points. Diarra so lucky on the pen. On the penalty. Just been saying, it's one of the worst 1-0 wins. It's the worst penalty you've probably seen. Well, apart from the fierce Panenka, I thought Darlow, how he's not saved it, because it was kind of straight at him, hit his leg and went in. I thought he had saved it. So we're getting away with that tonight. No doubt about it. We're getting away. It's a poor performance, but it's great defensively. We've nicked the 1-0 with a penalty. That was an awful penalty, but like I say, in football, you take them all, dear. Christopher Skidmore says, Leeds fans, stop crying. Shit game, a win, sun until the end. Steve, well, Wolves can pick up another 24 points. Imagine if they got on a run. Unreal. Bell End Road, intimidating. What a crock of shit. All is could hear was Sunderland fans overrated. On the telly we were loud. On the telly we were really loud. SAFC no. Luke, I think that's meant to be Luke 09 was class. I agree. He gets man of the match. He was brilliant. Yorkshire Mackem, I think we win our FA Cup game, beat Brighton and draw with the visitors United. Well, that would just be amazing. Things, even me, I've been a bit downbeat in recent weeks with the way we've dropped off a little bit. Some poor performances, the Fulham defeat, but the result against Bournemouth at the weekend kind of perked us up a little bit. It was a good performance at Bournemouth, and we've backed it up now with a 1-0 tonight. And we're safe. That's the main thing, is now we're safe. And that's the main thing. That was the main goal for the whole of the season, was getting them 40 points. And we're getting that now. And I'm just a big relief looking out. And not that we haven't enjoyed the season already, because it's been tremendous, but we can now chill out and just enjoy the rest of these games and have a crack at the season. And what a way to wrap the season up if we could beat them black and white bastards at their place, in March. That would just top it off. Absolutely top it off. 09 was class, yeah. Rob Porter, what do you think of the Leeds fans? Didn't think there was much atmosphere. Well, I did say, I said in the preview video that if we can keep them quiet, they get frustrated, and the longer it goes nails each, you're seeing as soon as they didn't pass the ball forward and start going sideways and backwards, the Leeds fans got on their back straight away. They don't like not being attacking at home, and that proved to be the case, and the atmosphere went flat. It was only like the last 15, 20 minutes when the referee put them 30 minutes of injury time on, they kind of got up for it, and it was attack against defence. But isn't it just funny that how last week everyone was feeling sorry for us because of VAR last week, but we are now the villains, if you like. I've just said what goes around comes around. It's shit when it's guns against you, but when it goes for you, it's a different story, and that's just the way VAR's got things at the minute. It's ruining football for me. I mean, for me, VAR can fuck right off. I think it's a heap of shit, but if it's ran right, it's a good tool to have. But at the minute, it's not, and it's ruining football. But tonight, for me, it made the right decisions. Apart from their penalty, which I will admit they should have had a penalty, but the offside goal was offside. It was offside. Rodden's header, he was offside, and our penalty was a penalty. It's handball. So Brett 1983 says, people go on about Leeds fans, but I've watched Leeds a few times this season, and they don't sing, and when they do, it's always the same song. SFC No says, Port Vale, yeah. Fiona McCrum says, it's safe, well done, lads. Regis and Co. So proud of how we have carried ourselves to all season. I agree, Fiona. We've been brilliant, and we've been absolutely class all season. We've far exceeded any expectations. But Xhaka, like after the game, was absolutely spot on what he said. We've just got to stay humble. We've achieved the first milestone of 40 points, and now we'll see where we end up. So that's the mindset you have to have. You kind of get carried away, and we're not. So Miles Percival says Scott Parker's back passage is squeaking like out on Sky Sports News. He'll be nervous. He'll be nervous. Mark, as a Leeds fan, you've got what you deserve, my friend. The difference today, you have a quality manager who knows what to do and how to change it. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate that. If you watch Imagine Not Being Leeds, you'd have seen the game kind of played out. What I said, really, I said would frustrate you and would nick in it and win it late. And I think when Falk was under pressure, he just chucks all his forwards on and hopes for the best, and that's kind of what he did. We stood up to the test, and he had a couple of half chances at the end, but we kind of stood up to the aerial threat, and I thought, Ballard and Alderete were absolutely immense in the last 15, 20 minutes, headed everything, put the bodies on the line, and we had a manager who, made some good choices in the game. So appreciate you saying that. Maybe, like you say, instead of Leeds fans looking at criticising at how we've played in the dark arts, if you like, it's maybe look at your own manager and wonder how you lost the game, and have you got a plan B when things are not working, or is your plan B just for to chuck the kitchen sink at teams and doesn't always work? Mike Mackem, I thought the two TNT pundits were fitting disgrace. Billy Boswell in his Cockney mirror, absolute joke. I tend to agree, Mike. It's normally the case, isn't it, when we watch some of the commentators kind of hate us. Lee Henry's another one. Don Goodman's another one when he co-commentates. Andy Hinchcliffe, they're all kind of hate something for whatever reason. I didn't know they must have a hidden agenda, but the jokes on them tonight. Lightning, Lightning Gornell, well done to Sunderland, but our manager plays 9 defensive players in a home game. We need to win. It's insane. When I thought and I saw the lineup was the same team, I definitely thought Nemetcha would have played for you tonight. Maybe even Nonto. I thought you had a right good go, but it was a defensive lineup, just playing DCL up from by yourself and Aronson kind of floating around. And I thought you would have had more of a go from the off, which on our way frustrated you a bit, but you didn't. So, like I say, maybe he's look at Farker in games like this. Richie Rich, so much for the 4-0 Leeds win, Matty. Leeds United, you lot got a penalty, which it wasn't. You won't win the FA Cup. Well, I'm sorry, but I disagree. It's a Stonewall penalty, and if that's the other way around, you're crying out for it as well. Ampadu, his arm moves towards the ball. And if you remember, first game of the season, I remind you, Everton, when Tarkowski moves his arm towards the ball and he gives a penalty, you weren't crying then and shouting for them, were you? So unfortunately, mate, it's a penalty. You can't do that. You can't move your arm towards the ball in the penalty box. Otherwise, you're asking for trouble. Unnatural position, you go towards the ball, it's a penalty. So, but I will say you should have had a penalty in the first half. I'm not disagreeing that you should have had a penalty in the first half. So that's not on us. That's not our fault. That's the officiating. Rooster Coburn, Sunderland fans were fantastic tonight. Massive respect to every single one of you. Class. Brett, you need to watch it back if you think it's not the pen. Go and watch it back. New name, Sunderland Dirty Maggots. Oh, well, nice one. Charlie McKeever, definitely a penalty. Gary Dixon thinks some Leeds fans need to go to Specsavers. Rooster Coburn, Dirty Maggots with 3 points. Come on, Sunderland, great win, says Johnny at 989. Steve, SAFC, Leeds falling apart again. Changing crisis in the hello, mate. If the ref gave an hour injury time, Leeds still wouldn't have scored. Charlie McKeever, Port Vale in the Cup. I would saw that. It's a great way to round off the night. Johnny at 989. Luke, changing crisis. Who puts the Leeds fans on mute? Mike Mackham, where did he get 12 minutes overtime from? I have been saying that. Let's see. I've expected about 7 or 8 because of some stoppages and what have you, and we were time wasting a bit. But 12 minutes was not a penalty. The ref had a thing with players. I think you need to watch it back, mate. I think you really need to watch it back. And if you still think it's not a penalty, then fair enough. But honestly, mate, if it's the other way around, you're screaming for it. So it's a penalty. Saul 423. Well, Saul, how you doing, mate? You called it, mate. I did. Mystic Meg, yeah. Mystic Meg. Kind of played out the way I said, didn't it? Frustrate them, dig in, second half, gonna win the game, and that's exactly what we've done. So I just wished I'd put a bet on it. Harry SAFC, where's Imagine Not Being Leeds? I'm sure we'll speak to Matty at some point. We'll have a bit banter and a bit crack. Any info on Traore? No. Bit of a blow that he come on and he's lasted 3 minutes and gone off again. Looks like he took a kick on his leg or his calf. So we'll have to wait and see what the outcome is of that one. Derek Gilvey, watching from Ireland, is 40 points enough? I think so, Derek. I really do think so. I think, we've all said, even reduced the beast, 40 points has been the target. We've got that. So I'm pretty much, I'm going to call we're safe now. I think we really are. I don't think West Ham, Forest, or even Spurs get anywhere near that, to be fair. So Steve Westway, SAFC. So I think as it stands, we are 15 points from 18th. So that's massive, isn't it? With 10 games left. So Ian Whittle, brilliant defending from us. Goalkeeper played well. For his first game in that atmosphere, fair play to him. Fair play to him. He had a nervy start, but he's come on and as he grew into the game. So, fair play to him. Coffee Goblin, how are you? Las Palmas Mountains in there. Leeds were playing basketball for the penalty. Johnny at 99, 40 points. Happy as. Alan Stewart says, Luke 09 played 3 games this season to be man of the match. I've just been saying 3 games he's played, 2 FA Cup games and tonight, and he's man of the match in every one of them. So I'm buzzing for him, absolutely buzzing for him. And if you saw the interview after the game, Xhaka, full of credit, and just said what kind of a big personality he is behind the scenes, and he's exactly what Sunderland's all about. And fair play to him. Changing crisis. Leeds couldn't beat our reserve team in 2 attempts. They're so far behind us. Well, it just shows you, everybody, even the commentators tonight kept on mentioning we were 24 points behind them last season, and they cannot. We'll see. I still think we'll finish 9th. Well, fair play. Imagine if Wolves go on a run, not beyond the realms of possibility. Imagine that would be one of the greatest escapes ever if Wolves were to get out of that from where they are, mind. I think West Brom had that great escape years ago. That would top that. That would be some effort. They would have to put a statue at the ground if the manager, if they do that. Rob Andrew, was it Rob Andrew? Great debut from Elborg. Agree, Rick. Stesko says, to be honest, Leeds should have had a pen in the first half. 9 with a jiu-jitsu thrown strike. I've just been saying, I'm not disagreeing. It was a penalty, 100%. It was a penalty. So I don't know why VAR didn't check it, but it's a penalty. It's a foul, and it should have been a pen. But like I've said, unfortunately, it's the officiating today. It's shocking. It's so inconsistent. This is what's ruining the game. Charlie McKeever, the refs' watches must be from Tume. Timu, Coffee Goblin, 40 points done now. Time for an FA Cup run. Well, that's it now. We're focused on the cup anyway, but now we've got a chance to carry that on. So why not? Why not have a right good go at it? You win this game now. You won game from a semi-final. So why not? New stadium name for Leeds, Elborg Road. Derek was back in there. First time watching, great content. Can't believe the extra time I did it onto that match. What was that all about? Cheers, Derek. Well, I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Always great to have new people watching and new people adding to the channel. So thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate it. And referee, I didn't know, mate. I was gobsmacked when he put that 12 minutes on. I think he was just trying to give them a goal. I think he must have had them for a draw in the coupon or something. So, but Danny P says, I live in West Yorkshire, surrounded by Leeds fans. I'd only be wearing SAFC shirts and jackets for the next few weeks. Well, some people like to hide it, some people like to flaunt it, and why not revel in it if we can? Rob Edwards, that's it. Yorkshire Mac and Cheese, mate. Rob Andrew, he's a rugby player, isn't he? Rob Edwards, that's it, mate. Thanks for putting that in there. Changing Crisis, Angulo was fantastic. He really puts the graft in. I like him. He's a player who always puts a shift in, and he's still settling himself. So fair play to him. Dorigo is back in there thinking a semi-final plays in the FA Cup. What do you think, mate? That would be what a season that would be. We've already beat the Mags. We're already safe with 10 games left. We've got a chance of doing the double over them in a few weeks' time, and a chance to get to a semi-final or a final. Obviously, no disrespect to Port Vale, but you've got to make us strong favourites to beat them, haven't you? And if that was to happen, like stuff of dreams, it's absolutely stuff of dreams from where we've been in the last 8 years. And it's fully deserved. We've put up with some shit in these last few years, and we've all supported them when we've been down in the dumps, and we've come back stronger. And fair play to every one of you who's went up and down the length and breadth of the country. All over the place to Plymouth and places like that on a Tuesday night, and we're now reaping our rewards. So brilliant. Steve O says a Sunderland versus Man City FA Cup final will be class. Get revenge. I'd much rather it be a Sunderland Leeds final or something, I think. Yorkshire Danglers is robbed by poor officials. Blatant penalty for Leeds. A blatant second yellow for O'Neill. Officials are a joke in the Prem. I agree. I've just been saying all the way through the stream. I agree that you should have had a penalty. The refereeing, it just doesn't get any better, does it? The Atwell's always been shite. I didn't know about the second yellow for O'Neill, and I might have missed that one, but I'll probably watch it back and have a look. But ours was also a blatant penalty as well. But if you get that penalty, it's 1-0, you get a chance to go on 1-0. It's a different game then. So I can see why he's a hard done by. Unfortunately, it's the officiating shite. Yorkshire Macamine from Leeds as well, and support Sunderland. Good stuff, Yorkshire Macam, love it. Yeah, I like the look of Angulo. Can't wait to see what he likes like when he's fully gelled. Brilliant. Let's see. LUFC LUFC, what an awful game of football. You should be ashamed as a club. Footballers gone cheating, gets you points now. Well, where have we cheated? I'm sure you haven't been perfect in games. And I'm sure you have done the dark arts in plenty of games this season. So because you've lost, you cannot suddenly blame teams for cheating them. I didn't agree with that at all. Yes, it was an awful game, but both sides were bad. Both sides were really bad. So it was an awful game, but I don't agree with the cheating. But, sometimes you have to be a bit of a shithouse. And like I've just said, we've been too nice on more than one or two occasions this season, and we let teams date of us. So I didn't agree. Obviously, I'm going to stay. I'm a Sunderland fan. I'm going to disagree with you, but I didn't know whether the cheating comes into it was a blatant penalty for us. You can't blame us for a penalty that wasn't given. It's not our fault that the ref and VAR didn't give it. That's not our fault. You just play the game how it pans out. So John Nesbitt says, Wayne heard your mate Matty saying before the match 4-0. He clearly doesn't know our team. Well, I agree, John. I mean, we thought we were going to get beat, didn't we? We thought it was going to be a long night when we saw the team, didn't we? And this team always surprised you when the backs are against the wall, and we've done that tonight. So Billy Black says, you were right, mate. How's your Leeds, mate? Took it. I've not spoken yet, Billy, but I'm sure we'll have a bit crack in the next couple of days. Paul Spector, Diarra was so poor throughout that whole game. Matty will be fuming. It wasn't his best game. I thought he was non-existent in the first half. Kept giving the ball away. Getrauda, I thought, was poor as well. Give them 2 free kicks away at the edge of the box. But he scored the fortunate penalty. He never be as lucky again, because how Darlow was not saved that, I didn't know. But like I say, sometimes you just got to take it and move on. But he didn't have his best game, shall we say. But Alderete was tremendous. Especially last 15, 20 minutes, I thought he gave a couple of dodgy balls away in the first half. He's defensively a little bit shaky sometimes, but the last 35, 40 minutes, he was absolutely immense. He headed everything. Coffee Goblin, goals wins games. That's it. Changing crisis. Imagine not being Leeds. Imagine not taking Leeds. Was good to see Reid get some minutes. I mean, he wouldn't have gotten them if Traore hadn't come off, but it is nice to see him get on the pitch. Miles Percival, where were we cheating? That's what I'm saying. I get the dark arts and the time wasting bit, but cheating, I don't think we cheated. And our Luke O'Neill got a yellow card for kicking the second ball on the pitch. Apart from that, if it was the way around, these Leeds fans will be all over the internet trolling. I'm saying that it's sometimes you just have to accept it and move on. Like, if it had been the other way around, we'd have been fuming. And for a fact we would have been. But it's not our fault that the officiating in the game today is shocking. That's just the way the game is. John Nesbitt, we should have had a blatant pen at Bournemouth, but we didn't get it. So what? Just been saying, we got shafted 3 times at the weekend against Bournemouth. Tonight, it's kind of went in our favour. So Leeds were the dirtiest team in England in the 70s and won the league several times and never apologised. Good point, Holly. Good point. Paul Spector, Leeds are losing their heads. We outsung them throughout the 90 minutes under the lights. Steve, 15, how are you? What a win, mate. Doesn't matter how you get there. It's the 3 points that matter. All these Leeds fans chucking the dummies. Funny as F. I said at the start of the video, sometimes you have to win games horrible and ugly and grind things out, and we've done that. So, Jamie Dent, you spent an hour fighting injuries. I don't know. Walsey, Leeds are falling apart again. Conley, 90 out of Conrad, we deem it well said. We're no cheating at all, just bitter on how bad Leeds played. I'm at a loss, and I will discuss this tomorrow on Midweek Matters, but there's a lot of, I've had a lot of comments about us cheating. I'm like, I didn't know where we've cheated. I wouldn't say we were chucking ourselves on the floor. I think if anything, the referee give more free kicks to Leeds tonight than we were the one giving the free kicks away in stupid areas a lot of the time around the edge of the box. So I didn't know about faking injuries. But it's part and parcel of football. When you're winning 1-0 away from home in a place like Elland Road, you have to be shithouses. You have to be. It's the only way you grind results out, and that's just football. Any team, I've seen plenty of teams beat us at the Stadium Light numerous times when they've been winning and do the same thing. And it's nice to see us manage the game and a bit in-game management and be shithouses to see the game out. So, but I'll see them on midweek. Mackham's Tim the Minion, great resilience by the heroes tonight. Leeds fans, Thomas Frank is available. Excellent live. Cheers, Win. Cheers, Tim. Appreciate that, mate. Neil Denbury says, I didn't think we would get much out of the game when I saw the lineup, but great result. It might be ugly, but 3 points. I am happy with ugly today. Me as well, Neil. It's what football's all about. You take the rough with the smooth. Yes, it's nice to win with free-flowing football, but like I keep on saying, when you go to places like Elland Road, that atmosphere under the lights, where they haven't lost many games, by the way, you have to go and do what you have to do and win as ugly as you can. Grindon 100 thought Enzo took the pens. I think from what I heard, I think the kind of decide on the pitch, and Diarra took the one at Oxford, didn't he? So when Lefebvre was on the pitch as well, so maybe Diarra is the new penalty taker after tonight. It'd be a bit dubious, but it went in just the same. Brett, shouldn't be sorting penalty takers, give it to one player and stay that way. I agree, because it's kind of that continuity of who should be taking the pens. You know what happens, but we'll take it. Jamie Dent, you're great at cheating the points. Ref should be clocking this. Well, again, if ref's not strong enough, but like I've just said, I thought, we were the ones giving free kicks away. We were not the ones chucking ourselves on the floor. And I'm sure I've seen Calvert-Lewin on more than one occasion leaping like a salmon when there was somebody here and was always being shot. So, it swings both ways. Black Cats, the penalty was bad, just let it went in. I agree, it was a shocking penalty, but an even shocking attempt at a save from Darlow. Miles Percival, some of these Leeds fans sound like the visitors up the road. John Nesbitt, we never got out of first gear. Leeds were burnt out sour grapes from the Leeds lot. Roger Slicker, well played from a Leeds fan. Leeds would have to be there till cows come home and still wouldn't score. Cheers, Roger. It's nice to see somebody, kind of come on and I know it's hard not to have sour grapes and it's hard not to be frustrated when the game's just finished. But I'm sure, when you sit back and probably watch the game back tomorrow and have a look at the way the game played out, it was an awful game to watch. Referee was shocking for both sides. He missed your penalty. They've seen ours, and that's kind of the game in a nutshell. We've dug it out. Ryan Haswell, hi Ryan. Great away when we frustrated them massively. When you think we get beat as your negativity, and this is not the first time we've put performances in like we have tonight. Well, Ryan, I know me and you always disagree on the comments because you seem to have a negative comment on everything I put on the videos, but it's you're entitled to your opinion. I'll always say what I think. I didn't say we got beat. If you watch the video back, my preview, I did say we'd win 2-1. So saying we'd get beat, I don't know why you're getting that back. So if you watch it back, you'll see, mate, that I actually said we'd win. So, but never mind. Walsey, Jamie, head loss is great. Jamie then pretending head injuries and kicking into the ball on the pitch is cheating. Well, that's twice in the game. That's over 103 minutes. That's two, bruh. Who pretended to have a head injury? Referee's got to stop it. Newcastle and Leeds were 2 games this season I wanted to win. Good show, Paul. Do we let Diarra take the next penalty or Lefebvre? I think if Diarra's on the pitch, he'd probably take it. Steve-O, Lefebvre for me. Paul Spector, Leeds, head loss is pure cinema. You're a good team, but you shit out today. Well, that's it, Jamie. We're not where we are in the league. We haven't shit out our way to where we are. We've ground results out. I know we've not scored many goals away from home, and I know we've struggled away from home. But we are where we are on merit, and that's the top and bottom of it. Billy Black noticed our players laughing during the game, like frustrated them. Perfect game plan for having all these injuries. Miles Percival, I'm 68 years old. Unless I'm losing the plot, I still don't see us cheating. Cheers, Miles. Just back up what I've said. Leeds is a better team. Don't know how Leeds didn't win, even with the fake injuries. You didn't do nothing all game. How do we not get a pen? There's nobody disputing the fact that Leeds were the better side. But in football, how many times do you see the better side lose, or the better side on the day lose? And it happens quite often, to be fair. Paul Spector, very scary. Elland Road, so overrated. Leeds fans. Christopher Skidmore, how can we cheat with the referee and VAR? They just can't take the beating. You played the game today. We should not know better. We should be crowding around the ref for the pen. Watch us from now on. We're in pressure off. We should be able to play some better football from now on, mate. I agree. Liam Moore, Your keeper faking injury is absolutely embarrassing. Well, how many times do you see? How many times do you see goalkeepers doing that week in, week out? So, and I'm sure if I watched all of your games back this, and I'm sure when you was winning and hanging on to games, your goalkeeper's probably done the same at some point this season. So, I didn't buy that at all. Paul Spector, we have to respect Port Vale on Sunday. We have to, mate. We have to. Kind of just gone there, expect the roll over. Steve, how are we? Let's move the table now. Go strong against Port Vale in the Cup, then hope for a home quarter final. It's the best time for years to be a Sunderland fan, onwards and upwards. He didn't kick the ball on the pitch; it was already on the pitch. That's what he was saying. He was trying to say to the referee that the ball was already on. I didn't see it because you couldn't see it from the TV camera. So Yorkshire Macklin played Leeds at shit times this season. Home fixture was during AFCON and to deal with injuries. Aye, good point. Arthur Bushby, boring Sunderland sit back. Well, when you're away from home, sometimes you have to, mate. It's an away performance. You're not going to go in there. No team in the right mind, unless you Man City or somebody, are going to come to Leeds and try and have a right go at you because we get picked off. So it's kind of the way we expected us to play. Black Cats, so Leeds fans are just sore losers, basically. Paul Spector, Leeds with a better side, but if you can't do anything with the ball, what's the point of having it? We play to our strengths when we don't have the ball. Something boring to watch. Boring, yeah. What about Trafford shithouse with last season? Good point. David Cook, check out Port Vale's pitch. Have we got enough injuries? Aye. John Nesbitt, Wayne Isidore was shot in mind. He has to be moved. I think he is. I think there's something not right there. There's something not right there with Wilson, and we've said that for weeks and weeks now. And I think we're fully expecting to see him move in the summer. Ryan's back on there. You're a good vlogger, mate. It's opinion, like you say. We haven't scored many, but haven't conceded many. We either Leeds are arrogant. That's why many can't stand them. Well, I'd say, Ryan, I keep on saying the videos and stuff is I'll do for the banter, and I love the crack, and I love it's all about opinions, and everybody's got their own opinions. It's why I do the channel and why I love doing the streams. And not everybody's going to agree. Sometimes people clash, and sometimes just have a totally different opinion. But I appreciate you saying that, mate. I do appreciate saying I'm a good vlogger. That means a lot. And yes, we haven't scored many, but we haven't conceded many all season. So I get your point. But fair point, mate. Steve-O, remember when Leeds got that cheating penalty against Everton at the start of the season? I didn't see Leeds fans complaining. I've just been saying exactly what I said there about the Everton game. Exactly the same thing. Tarkowski moves his hand towards the ball. They're given a penalty, and Leeds fans are saying it's a stonewall penalty. What's the difference tonight? Ampadu moves his hand towards the ball. It's a penalty. So could grow tatties on that pitch. I'm guessing they must mean about Port Vale. Tim the Minion, our new keeper, played a blinder elbow eye. Like I say, to come in that atmosphere, then fair play to him. Paul Spector, Isidore will be gone in the summer. I think 20 million might be pushing it, but if somebody offers that, I'll drive him there myself, I think. Miles says Port Vale's pitch is horrendous. Let's put 21s out. When it's that sort of stuff, it's a great leveler, and them sort of pitches, League Two pitches, that's where people get hurt and get injuries. So Paul Spector, Leeds or United are probably the two most hated fan bases in England. And SAFC, how are the lads? 40 points. Love your picture there, mate. And well, that's it. 200 people over 200 people have been watching. Appreciate everybody who's joined and had a good bit banter. I love doing these live shows. It gets everybody involved, and it gets your opinion live in the moment. And I might do a few more of them. So everybody who's tuned in and joined, 202 people, thank you very much for watching. If you didn't mind, like I said at the start, please like, share, subscribe, and hype, and it'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll do a match preview for the Port Vale game at the weekend. Now we know how we're playing. Last few comments before we wrap up. Fair play. I'm fuming with DF playing defensive players for 70 minutes. Then he decides to bring on attackers when we were losing. We just need to play the dark arts. Xhaka and Nonto should be starting. Like I say, I'm amazed that I'm a big fan of Nonto. I think he's a great player, and how he can't get into your side, whether it's the way he's play or the way he's set up, I don't know. He'd be a player I'd love for our side. I think he's a great player. And Dan James and I come back from injury, but you see when Dan James came on, straight away he started creating things. So it's a strange one how he's been injured, but that's it. It's good that you question your manager. He's the one probably that you need to be looking at. Martin Hale, TNT seem to be quite biased towards Leeds. Great result regardless. However, the lad had you're right, and that seems to be the case when we play anyway. Everybody hates Sunderland. Moosey, all right, mate. We deserved that tonight, especially all the shite we've put up with the past few games. I totally agree. Get Leeds fans rattled as well. Keep it coming. What a result, says Ethan Finnick. Miles Percival, excellent show win. Cheese, mate, appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. Tickets now on sale for Sunday. I don't know how many we're getting, but I'll probably put a post out later of how many we've got. West Yorkshire Auditor, I think Leeds are going down. I don't think you are. I think Leeds will be fine. They've got more than enough. You know, they're a better side than West Ham and Forest and Tottenham even. So I think they'll be fine. Jamie then, good channel, mate. Well played. Cheers, Jamie. Appreciate that, man. Mate, from a Leeds fan. All the best, mate. All the best for the rest of the season. Mike Cassop, Daniel Farker, and the whole Farker family. And last one, Paul Spector. Nonto is championship fodder. Saying Nonto will get in our side is worse than saying Lafayette. No, I'm not saying he will get in. I think he's a good squad player. I think I just like him. Some players you like, some you don't. I just think on his day, I've seen him in the Premier League when the Leeds were last there, and I thought he did all right. So it's all about opinions, Paul. But we'll see how it is. But anyway, on that note, Miles says can't say Leeds going down. But as always, like I always say, thanks everybody who's tuned in. Have a great rest of the week. This will make sure it's a really fantastic end of the week. 40 points. We're safe. Bring on Port Vale at the weekend. See if we can get to that cup quarter final. Watch out for the match preview coming out for that. And we'll see where this cup run takes us. But in the meantime, enjoy your Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Stay safe. And have a good rest of the week.
Sunderland's where we live and fight with pride.